Alright guys, so my never-ending quest to fix this Toyota Celica GT4. What I had to do was troubleshoot the starter. Alright, so it's Christmas time. Have hair. Rock Auto, new starter. So where is my knife? Right here. Alright. Fridge magnet. It's like unboxing, huh? Alright, that's heavy. Alright, so I went with the Bosch high torque starter. So this should kick the starter over, kick the clutch, the crank over. Very easy, fast, strong. Kind of a interesting way to wrap it. Tie it down, I guess. Dun dun. The theatrics. All right. So. New starter. Do not strike with hammer. Okay, I won't do that. All right, so we're gonna go back to the garage, set this up on the test bench, and this should pop out and spin. Let's do it. So what you see here is me grounding the case. So I'm gonna put a bolt through this case and a nut on the other side, and that's gonna be my ground. And just need that nice and snug. Doesn't have to be completely torqued down, just good enough to make a contact. And then that is a power wire coming off of the battery, and same thing, just gonna kind of snug that down a little bit. And what you see here is that's the trigger switch that I just sat down, and I'm attaching the one side to a 12 volt power source, and the other side is going to the signal input on the starter. And yeah, it's a little bit of a pain to get it to clip onto that little tab, but so what I'm about to do now is pull the trigger. And this one is dead, so it doesn't have much torque. And so what will happen is once I pull the trigger, you'll see the, what is it called? I don't think it's a clutch, but maybe it is a clutch. You'll see the little clutch pop out. And once it pops out, it's supposed to spin as well, and it doesn't spin. So that's a bad starter, bad clutch. So what I'm doing here is just disconnecting everything. Finger tighten a little more than I thought. Disconnect the ground, disconnect the battery, and put that aside. And here's the and this is a high torque starter. So the other one I think was like a 1 or 1.2 kilowatt rated starter. This one is a 1.6 Bosch unit. This one has a lot more torque. When I turn the key, this starter should have enough power to turn over the ignition a lot faster than the other one. The other one, like I think when you go to crank with the aftermarket ECU, you want to see somewhere around 300 RPM, and this one should give me more than 300 RPMs with absolutely no problem. Whereas the other one, I would hit like 280, 290, 300, and then I would have to charge the battery up to, somewhere close to 12.6 to 13 volts in order to get over 300 RPMs on crank. All right, so now hooked up. When I put the trigger switch, what you want to watch for is the clutch on this one. Not only is it going to pop out, but it's also going to spin, and it should spin pretty fast. The battery's pretty close to ground wire, and the power wire is short, so it's plenty of power, plenty of amperage. So I'm holding it steady, and yeah, look at my arm when I pull the trigger. You can see it kind of torque my arm for the amount of power. So this is a good starter. I think what I'm going to do next is pull the trigger a couple times with the starter just sitting there. No, I guess I didn't do that in this vid. Okay, so now that we got that figured out, all I gotta do is get the starter installed, crank it. It should turn over with no problem. It'll fire up. Probably smoke out the garage, but I think what I'll do is I'll go to Home Depot and I'll get one of those little ducts and I'll run that from under the car out to outside. And that way I don't like choke myself out in the garage. So thanks for watching. We'll do that probably first thing tomorrow morning. All right, so what I use to troubleshoot the problem with the no start is a trigger switch. I got this from Amazon. It was 15 bucks. So it's just a trigger switch and a couple of alligator clips. So you just clip this to a 12 volt source, and then so one side to 12 volts, one side to the starter signal, and you pull the trigger and it sets it off. So that's gonna hold. I'm gonna hold that down. 3, 2, 1. Yes. Bad starter. That's got some kick too. Look at that. All right. Bad starter.